let's do it. Another installment of Not Coming Soon, the premier podcast bringing you the movies, not of today, not of tomorrow, not of who knows when. We are your guides and giving you the stories that you're craving. In case you're joining us today here for the first time, my name is Jeff Myers, and I'm here with my brother,
Ryan Myers.
And we are going to give you a taste of the movies. That's right. You're here, and we're going to give it to you.
We got the movies.
Before we jump into the presentation for today, Ryan, what are you watching? You watching Boba Fett tonight?
Well, first off, Jeff, I would like to thank you for that just energetic introduction. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett. Now, I'm halfway through the final episode. And I will say, so going back, because you've watched through episode 6, correct?
I watched up to the last episode.
Okay.
I'm not sure on number counts.
Yeah, 6. So it started off. My mind goes back to the opening of the first one, where we see Camino, we see Geonosis, we see young Boba Fett holding the Jango Fett helmet. That's where we started. We ventured very far away from that, in my opinion. It didn't show the Boba Fett that everyone was wanting. I don't think. And then they bring in the Mandalorian, who is basically just episode 5 and 6 are just episodes of the Mandalorian. And it's just far better direction. It's just a better piece of television, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And it to me, it kind of seems that when they were thinking about doing the Mandalorian originally, they were thinking, what if we give people Boba Fett, but wrap it in a different box, kind of thing. And what happened was it was so madly successful that they're like, and then they included Boba Fett. He made cameo in The Mandalorian. And they're like, oh, now everyone wants Boba Fett, but we can't make him exactly like Din Djarin. We can't make him like The Mandalorian. So we got to set him apart. But The Mandalorian was what everyone was wanting and hoping Boba Fett would to be. So now I feel like they're just kind of stuck in a pickle where they kind of got to write out Boba Fett's character with how they're having him now. And continue forward with The Mandalorian. I haven't finished with the last episode, so something can happen.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in the last episode, but
we'll see.
I agree with your assessment that The Mandalorian was who everybody thought Boba Fett would be, so they had to make him a different character, and to do so, they brought in the director of Spy Kids, who made a couple episodes of Spy Kids, and endeared us to Tusken Raiders only to have them massacred an episode later.
And then basically not in any of the subsequent episodes.
But the 2 episodes of Mandalorian Season 3, I loved.
Fantastic. I was actually looking at IMDb earlier. Noticed that I believe the highest Book of Boba Fett episode cracks the 8s. And the lowest is in the 6s, and they span between those two. And then the 2 episodes of Mandalorian Season 3 are 9.5 and 9.7.
Yeah.
Because Bryce and David Filoni can direct. They can direct, and they're Star Wars fans. It's very clear, especially going from that vibe back to a Robert Rodriguez in the final episode, It's just
Okay.
Robert Rodriguez can't direct. Or I mean, maybe can't is a strong word.
He's been doing it for quite a while, and
that's
it's
true.
a pretty
That's
successful
true.
way.
Maybe
But...
can't direct a Star Wars piece of entertainment.
Hey,
Or
maybe
shouldn't.
it's on
Maybe
us
shouldn't.
to change. Maybe it's on us to change our minds of what the definition of a Star Wars story is. Because there's going to be saturation of the idea of Star Wars after a little bit, you know?
That's true.
Maybe he didn't need to do it with the characters that we know from the previous iterations of Star Wars. Maybe he didn't need to do it in on Tatooine, a setting that we're very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Another piece of Star Wars news today, though.
Oh.
Did you see Kenobi got a release date?
Oh, I did. I did see that. And I would like to raise the question. So, do you remember a couple weeks ago they announced it was going to be released in May? They didn't tell us what day in May, but they announced it was going to be released in May. Disney Plus releases stuff on Wednesdays. The first Wednesday in May is May the 4th. And I was totally bought into them releasing it on May the 4th, but then they hit us with the 25th.
Yeah, who knows what's going on behind the scenes there?
Who knows that?
Love to be a fly on that wall.
Ooh.
But man, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not even cautious. I'm fully setting myself up to be very disappointed by this show.
Which I mean, to pour salt on the wound is kind of how I feel about the Book of Boba Fett.
True.
Which is unfortunate. And if I could use this to segue into another up-and-coming piece of cinema that I'm kind of concerned about. To be honest with you, kind of concerned about it. The Batman. Now let me tell you why I'm concerned about it.
Okay.
I was watching a trailer the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of seemed to me that they were trying too hard to be like Christopher Nolan and at the same time not. I don't know how I got that in a trailer, but that was just what my mind went to. And I'm kind of concerned we're going to have a Jared Leto Joker type situation where it takes itself way too strangely. I don't know.
Huh.
I just, for some reason, watching that trailer made me a little concerned.
Okay.
I don't know. See what your thoughts.
That's fair. I haven't watched a trailer all the way through.
Good for you. Good for you.
I have been a fan of Robert Pattinson lately.
Oh, of course.
I feel like he's done some really interesting work, and he's wild in Tenet. I love his character in Tenet. I know I feel like I'm definitely in a minority of people who loved Tenet.
You're not in a minority.
I would say that to me, Tenet is
what are you going to say?
Top 5 Nolan.
I didn't know if you were about to hit us with number 1 Nolan. I kind of felt like we were going to never. Okay.
I can't say that. So I think in no particular order I would say some Dark Knight's got to be in there, Interstellar's got to be in there. Inception.
Yeah.
I mean, Tenet and let's see.
Well, it's like, to be fair, like, how many big time titles does Nolan have to his name? Like, not 10, right? Coming to 10. You got
Memento, The Prestige.
Yep.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises.
That's trilogy, of course. That's gonna get us there.
Yeah, that's gonna get you there. But Dunkirk.
Insomnia. Dunkirk.
Insomnia. People forget.
People forget Following.
I haven't seen Following.
Dude, $6,000 budget. Only shot it on weekends because they all had day jobs. Shot it on a camcorder.
Amazing.
Christopher Nolan. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Okay.
And I feel like I'm forgetting
that's
something,
true.
but I think that I covered it.
Okay.
I would say
so
it's in the top half of Nolan.
I like it. I like it. So you're putting it above Prestige? Because you didn't mention Prestige in top 5.
Yeah. I go back and forth on Prestige. The whole like Tesla thing is kind of out there for me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That's fair.
the whole like he goes on this journey and does this thing. I feel like it took too much of the movie for me.
Okay. That's cool. I that Prestige gets me so good because Nolan slaps you in the face with the twist immediately. It's the first shot of the movie. Immediately. And not only does he show you the twist, but he literally says, "Are you watching closely? Are you looking at this clue that is going to let you in on what the twist of the movie is?" And you don't get it. Only the next time is when you're like, "Oh." Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. That aspect of it gets me good.
Okay, but the Batman.
The Batman.
I'm not. I'm excited for it, and I want to see it, and then see where we are because Paul Dano. It's got. I mean, Robert Pattinson and Paul Dano are two intense performers. I'm ready for that.
All right. Yeah. I did that, and I do like Matt Reeves. What other titles does he have? Because he's not a. Did the newer Planet of the Apes, Cloverfield?
Just the last one?
No, the last two. So the latest two, War for Planet of
Okay.
the Apes and Dawn of Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Okay. I kind of in my head I had him more established with a lot of non action necessarily specific movies, and I was gonna say that I like them branching back out to something like that instead of getting comic book directors, because for DC that's not working. But they're branching out.
Did you like the Suicide Squad? I liked the Suicide Squad.
Oh,
like
okay. That's true.
And
I forgot about that.
Have you been watching Peacemaker?
I have not been watching Peacemaker.
I like it. It's fun. Yeah.
Oh, it definitely seems fun for sure. I should get on that. Yeah.
And John Cena's having a great time.
I bet he's having a great time. Dude, I gotta get into wrestling. All you gotta do is join the WWE, and then you're set. Boom.
Yeah, because we have
grow a little bit.
3 prominent wrestlers that are actors.
I think you're discounting the thespian talent of Big Show. I don't know his actual name. The dude that wears the like. Does he wear the one strap? Yeah, the guy that wears the one strap. He's like 7 feet tall. No?
You've extinguished my wrestling knowledge.
That's all right.
I've got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I've got John Cena, and I've got Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista. I guess that's it. Still, seems more likely than getting to the world of Hollywood from accounting.
It's true.
That is true.
Okay.
Anywho. You got film for us?
I do. Let's transition into our main event.
I like it. Hit us.
Tonight's entertainment. This is my first film.
Very nice.
Of, my written and directed by Notebook.
I dig it.
Here we go.
Yep. Set up the stash.
We open on our main character. He is sitting in a coffee shop. He's on a job site. He is applying for jobs, sending off the applications, letting the resume do its speaking.
Yes.
When he receives an unsolicited interview offer.
Dude, I swear to I feel like this may be a film that I have in the works. Because I had this. Never mind. Keep going. This would be.
Give it a couple more sentences and then tell me if we have the same thought, because that would be quite interesting. Our job applicant drives up to an office building. We cut the black. 3 years later.
Okay.
Our protagonist wakes up in an armchair. A voice prompt comes and says, "Thank you for participating in Trajectory. Here's what you've missed." And it does a subliminal message reel of all the things that have happened in the past 3 years.
We did not have the same idea.
It displays his compensation total for participating in the program. It's some astronomical number. It's in the millions here.
Okay.
And it tells him that the fee has been deposited into his account. It tells him his personal belongings are ready to be picked up at the front desk, and thanks him again for his participation. Goes to the front desk, picks up a box. It's got his ID in it. Has a different name than what he remembers. With a different state in that he was living in. And an address that he's never heard of. Also, in his personal belongings is a wedding ring.
Was he betrothed?
He was not married, nor was he on the verge of any sort of marriage. Got some car keys in there as well, so he walks out to the parking lot, finds this car, and drives to the address on his ID. He opens the door and sees a woman who he does not recognize, but greets him as her husband. So you can imagine our main character is quite confused at this point. He goes to search his actual name, but he cannot quite remember. Can't remember too much. He seems to be quite foggy. He asks this supposed woman what's happening. She gives a confused look and laughs him off. Just, run of the mill interaction with someone who you're very familiar with. He's like, well, okay, I guess I live here. I guess we're married. I don't know what quite is going on, but this is where I am. He spends the night tossing and turning. He's got flashes of thoughts, some that he recognizes and some that he feels very out of body in his recollection of things that have happened, but he remembers them in a way that is separate from his memories of before this period. So he wakes up the next morning. He smells breakfast being made, and then he feels his body just kind of operating like the day and getting ready, and he seems to know where everything is, and he just kind of is on this autopilot of getting ready for the day in his home. And his wife tells him he's going to be late for work, so she kind of pushes him out the door, and he gets in his car, plugs his phone in, it pulls up directions to the office, and he starts to go.
When you say he pulls up directions to the office,
his phone,
like
his,
suggestion.
his suggested
Okay,
destination
cool. Yeah,
is
good.
the office.
Excellent.
And he finds himself taking the route without needing the directions.
Ooh, yes.
Parks at the office. He's greeted by everyone. He doesn't. Yeah, there's some sort of recollection somewhere in his mind. It feels like things are starting to come back a little bit more naturally, but he's still very, very confused by this situation. Things seem familiar, but at a distance. Everybody is greeting him and treating him quite well. He looks around. He sees pictures of himself and these coworkers around the building, accepting an award, and it seems like he is the boss. He's the boss at this office that he's sitting in.
Good for him.
So once he's in his office, he tries to find and alone he tries to find the remnants of his old life. He tries to find like where he's from, because he can see pictures of where he's from and how he grew up and all these things, but he's struggling to put actual concrete facts to them. So he can't quite remember his name, can't quite remember where he's from exactly. He scours the internet and he finally finds an article that has his face on it, with the headline, "Local area man missing, presumed dead after fleeing the scene of a fatal crash."
What? Ah.
His heart skips a beat. He's starting to remember some of these flashes that seem like they're somebody else's memories, and he sees a car crash. He's kind of running and escaping from this crash. He rushes out of the office and drives to the place that he was let out of and given all of his personal effects. He tries to get answers from his wife, who seems legitimately frightened of what's going on. He goes back to this building, and it's just empty.
What building?
The building that he came out of and was given his personal effects back at.
Oh, okay.
So after seeing this empty building, he goes to his wife, and she's kind of frightened by his lack of awareness of who she is and who he is himself. He returns to the office and starts to ask around about himself to his coworkers, and he's told that there's a man waiting for him in his office.
Oh.
So he goes into his office, sees this man, and he explains this man explains the situation to him.
Oh.
He was a participant in an experiment of a new service of life optimization.
Ooh.
The theory of this service is to give an algorithm complete control of your life for 3 years, and you would be set for life after this. So you pay a fee up front. They take control of your life, 3 years off the books. Then you come back, and everything is figured out, and your life has been optimized. Your relationships, your love life, your career, everything is going to be on the optimal trajectory. And besides the slight hiccup in the beginning of his situation, the system had worked. So what he explained, the man explains to our main guy that something happened, a blip in the system while he was driving early on in the experiment, caused him to veer off the road and kill someone.
Ooh.
And to avoid scrutiny, the company pulls him out
Oh.
and sets up this new life for him, and then gets the experiment right back on track in this new town, new identity.
Okay. So that isn't necessarily part of the service. Usually you keep everything that's about yourself and it just optimizes your own life. Okay. I dig it.
Yes. So there was a mistake that happened. It was a beta test, you know? You needed, there were some tweaks that needed to be made, but they have figured out the system, and he has now been set for life. He has the perfect career track. He's married. He's set. He tells the man that he's going to go to the press. He's going to go to the police.
Oh.
But no, you won't. You're a rich man now. You've got the career of your dreams.
Mm.
A woman who truly loves you.
Hey.
And we know you're not going to throw it away to spend the rest of your life in prison for a crime you didn't commit.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So, I mean, he takes it blankly and walks back to his car and drives home. He apologizes to his wife for freaking her out, sits on the couch, turns the TV on. After a little bit, there's an ad for the trajectory. The man who just explained the service is on the television selling the service. And as the ad is playing, his wife walks in and tells him she's pregnant. And then we end.
Oh my God.
Fade to black. What I wasn't sure of is, do we show the main character's response to that, or do we just let it be? Let the audience decide. Is he excited? Is he going to stay in this? What's the decision he's going to make? I just let that be a mystery.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm still pondering your last question there. Because I'm almost thinking, she comes in, the commercial ends, he turns the TV off. We're looking at his reflection in the black mirror of the television as she tells him. And then he made it kind of like an Inception ending where did his lip curl into a bit of a smile?
Yeah.
Was that fear? Was that...
I like the Black Mirror one.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a good touch.
Dude, I dig it. I dig it a lot. Well, another thing I thought of at the beginning, like one way to show that his body is on autopilot, like clearly he's been doing this before. On the drive to work, he hits the turn signal before the maps go turn left or whatever. Just like, he's already known to turn. I'm just trying to soak it all in, you know?
Yeah.
Because part of me wants resolution, and the other doesn't. The other likes the way that it ends. Because I feel like when a movie ends that way, abruptly, when any piece of entertainment ends abruptly like that, you are far more inclined to critically think about that part, that ending, as well as obviously the rest of the movie. I feel like if there's a final battle scene and then everything wraps up, you kind of walk away from it with closure, and you might, he close the door
records the conversation with the guy and goes to the press, and the guy confronts him, and they he they have a confrontation and he kills them, something along those lines. Or
I would think if we were to have a more elaborate and less ponderous ending, it would have to be something about him exposing
right,
the process. But I love the concept because a lot of people feel on autopilot anyway, especially once you get past a certain point. You kind of just set your life on cruise control, but like take that to the absolute max.
yeah. The idea is, yeah, you get to a certain point, and then it's just smooth sailing from there. You have certain things about your life that are figured out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just kind of exist.
Yeah.
And that's like the hard part is figuring it out, and you just let the algorithm figure it out for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I almost feel that him reacting positively to the pregnancy, implying that he is content in this, is probably the strongest ending, because obviously anybody watching this is going to be like, this is bad, don't do this. Yet it's very similar to a lot of decisions we make. You take the easy road, you take maybe not the easy road, but the road you're on,
Yeah.
you let the actions
Follow it to conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Wow. I don't have many more notes, man. That was good. Obviously, there'd be how would you? Because like, this is a pretty quick synopsis.
Yeah.
But what kind of extra scenes or conflict do you think you would throw in to kind of get us to that hour and a half, hour 45?
Right. Yeah. So I think you establish a little bit more in the beginning. You maybe rather than him sitting in a coffee shop applying to jobs, and then that scene you get the job interview, maybe there's a little bit of a unemployment time that we spend with him and establish his life a little bit like Limitless, how at the beginning they establish his living his living situation before the drug, so that you see the big disparity when they flip it.
Yeah, I like that.
So spending more time there, maybe establishing somebody that he knows in that situation that he then like reaches out to when he starts to figure things out.
Yeah.
On the back end.
I think we might not be able to do that because I think him learning, like, I think keeping the audience in the dark the entire time until that guy explains it to him in his office that day is important.
No, I mean somebody that he knows separate from this program. I want that he parks and then he's walking towards the building and then he wakes up 3 years later. I'm talking about like somebody that he like a childhood friend or something like that in the first part that he remembers in the second part that he brings in, and they try to figure it out in tandem a little bit. But that doesn't super work in the current situation where he has fled.
Yeah. Well, I think it could work. I think he could be a good confidant. Well, and then that can add to the difficulty of accepting it, because accepting his new life would kind of be admitting the severance of that friendship, most
Yeah.
likely. That could have another aspect to it. And I really like the killed somebody on autopilot thing,
Yeah,
because
that kind of hurts the being able to kind of reach out to somebody in that previous
that
existence.
for sure, and that's a great ethical conundrum there, um, as well. So man, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I didn't, I don't have much more. Did you have anything else, or do you want to go into casting if we have anything?
I'm down to talk about some casting decisions. I
Mm. Anybody in
don't
mind?
have just like scrolling through, looking at who's available on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a Dylan O'Brien.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think
Hmm,
that's a good age and look to go for. Um
let's see here.
hmm.
We could kind of give it more of a surreal feel.
Mhm.
Something that's a little bit more removed from reality. Um, Go with like a Jason Schwartzman.
Okay.
Like give it a little bit more of a ridiculousness. Like the office that he goes to is just called Office,
Uh-huh.
and like or business, something like
Business. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um
something like that.
what's what's the guy that kind of looks like Jason Schwartzman but is not? Um
Hmm.
he's in Saving Private Ryan. Um Whenever I see him, I think my mind immediately thinks Jason Schwartzman, but it's not. He's kind of like
Huh.
um what's his name? It might be a bit out of the age range now. Oh, Adam Goldberg.
Hmm.
I feel like he's got a Jason Schwartzman vibe to him, but a bit more manic.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's pushing 50 now, but that
Yeah. So maybe not.
maybe out of the range. I really struggle with this part.
Yeah. It's a tough. It's tough to like envision people as somebody that it was in your head. Yeah,
Yeah,
casting directors have a tough job. I'm
yeah, the
more appreciative of them with each passing day.
mm. Yeah, because when I'm looking, I don't want to pick the just big name people who are in like I kind of like Sebastian Stan for it, but I'm like it's just like a bandwagon jump.
But
Or
for the for the old guy,
yeah.
I'm trying to like go like it's weird because my initial reaction was to have
Hmm.
somebody like in the game, the I forget his name. Um,
No, no, no. I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
The guy who's actually
James
an actor.
James Rebhorn. Yeah, Reb Rebhorn. Rebhorn.
Is that his name? I don't think I've ever actually known his name. I know he's in. Oh
Yeah,
God,
I don't
what
think I
he
have
what
either.
am,
But you know, he's
oh,
got
he's in My
like
Cousin Vinny,
that.
right? That guy, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's the car expert.
Yes. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Um,
But
I kind of
but
like
I don't
Brett.
know.
You know.
What?
Well, I thought when you said he was on TV, I thought that's where you were going. Um, that he was an actor, but no, that's not what this is
Oh
about.
no, no.
No. I also kind of like Bradley Whitford.
Bradley Whitford would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. big Bradley Whitford guy. I came upon him. Ooh, or maybe Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
Get that tied Office Space, which I finally watched.
Dude, Office Space is great.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Okay, so I like both of those suggestions. Stephen Root and Bradley Whitford. But let me ask you this. Because you suggested Bradley Whitford, are you watching The West Wing?
I'm watching The West Wing? I'm not watching The West Wing.
Oh, wow. What do you know?
Get Out.
Big non-West Wing Bradley Whitford guy.
Oh, huge. Only the deep cuts. Bradley Whitford. Get Out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't know, I wasn't aware of him when I watched Get Out, but I watched the West Wing for.
He has been in enough.
Bradley Whitford.
Yeah, he's been in enough little, or not little, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Tertiary, secondary parts.
Yeah.
For me to go, okay, what's that guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. See, that's a character that I'm like, yeah, that's right.
See, that's the thing.
That's the right call.
When you have it in your head, you can't think of who's going to work for it. But if somebody were to bring it to you, you'd be like, that's it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Harry Potter reunion thing?
Yeah.
The part where they like couldn't find Harry Potter, and then they brought in Daniel Radcliffe, and J.K. Rowling was like,
yeah,
that's it.
That's him.
It's him. Yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Cool. This is kind of tangential, but Bradley Whitford, who's in Cabin in the Woods with have you seen Cabin in the Woods?
I haven't.
Dude, you should watch Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
You should watch Cabin in the Woods.
Put it on the list.
I'm not going to tell you a single thing. You should watch Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, cool.
It is. I'm not going to tell you a single thing.
Yeah, don't tell me anything. Drew Goddard? Oh, I'm in.
Drew Goddard?
I'm a big Bad Times at the El Royale guy.
Oh, dude. Just freaking prepare yourself. But anyway, Bradley Whitford is in Cabin in the Woods with Richard Jenkins, who was in. We just watched Nightmare Alley the other night. Did you watch Nightmare Alley?
Yeah.
That was not what I expected a Guillermo del Toro movie titled Nightmare Alley to be like.
No.
No. But yeah, that's cool.
Haunting.
Yeah.
What a haunting movie that was. Man, good. Bradley Cooper is so good.
I love Bradley Cooper. We didn't find time to go watch Licorice Pizza in the theater. I wanted to so bad. Did you watch it?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, we didn't either.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to.
I
really want to watch it.
We had multiple times where I'm like, we should go, and like stuff kept coming up, and we were, I was like, because Tuesday's $5 Tuesdays.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And $5 Tuesdays. And I was like, we should go to a movie this week. And Emily was like, cool. And I said that like Friday or something last week. And then Emily looks at the movies and she's like, there's not a single one of these that I want to see that we either haven't seen already or, yeah. And because Licorice Pizza isn't showing in our theaters anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we freaking missed it, of course. So I was kind of bummed about that, but I definitely want to watch that. Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
What a talent.
But his realization at the end of that, my goodness.
It's so good. I was, to be honest with you, I was hoping for more of a kind of a spooky thriller. Well, I guess that's what I was expecting, so that's what I was subconsciously hoping for. So the development, how it happened, felt slow to me, given what I was expecting. Um,
I can see that.
yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I didn't go in with like any expectations. I didn't watch any of the trailers for that. I just saw
Yeah.
kind of the poster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I listened to Bradley Cooper was on Dax Shepard's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about it, and the way that he was talking about it was not an intense thriller.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have the same expectation that you had going in.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Nice. Okay. So, shall I give us a recap?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we're good to go.
I'll keep this short and sweet for those kiddos who are up past their bedtimes. So we got this guy. He's looking for jobs. His current situation's not going well. Or he's unemployed. Either way, not ideal. Comes across this non-solicited job ad. Or request for interview?
Kinda? Interview offer, yeah.
So a recruiter reaches out to him. This recruiter takes him to a building. Pulls up, opens the door, swings his leg out, gets out of the car. Wakes up 3 years later. 3 years later, and he's let out of the building and given his personal effects. And he walks out of the door and into a life that's foreign to him. It's not the life he remembers. But wait, what is the life he remembers? So he goes on a journey of self-discovery in the purest form, trying to put the Lego pieces of this new life together. He can't find anything until he comes across this article with his picture on it and the fact that he killed somebody in a car crash and made it away and is missing. Presumed dead, is what the article says. And that gets him flustered. So he goes to the building where he was released. It's empty. It's gone. They cleared out. They're gone. He's freaking out. He goes home to his wife, she claims. But the hardware in his finger doesn't dispute her claim. And she's now afraid. She's frightened. He's manic. He's going crazy. As completely understandably he would. And so he goes back into the office. And he's asking around. He's trying to gather information about himself. When someone tells him there's someone to see him. Someone has come to see him. He's in his office right now, waiting to talk to him. Sitting inside is Bradley Whitford or Stephen Root. And they explain that this building that he went into 3 years ago was part of a program called Trajectory, where an algorithm is created for you, and it takes over your life, and in 3 years puts you on the optimal life trajectory path. At which point, you retake control. The fiery car crash, the fatal vehicular collision, if you will, was not part of that process. The autopilot, hit this other car and killed that other person. So, with no real malice of forethought, our main character finds himself a murderer. Or a manslaughterer at best. And when he threatens to go to the press over this egregious violation of rights, Bradley Whitford or Stephen Root tells him he won't. Because the second you do that, the second you admit to your old identity, the second you confess to murder. Vehicular manslaughter. So he doesn't do it. Instead, he goes home, plops down in front of the television, watches an ad for Trajectory, which is now up and running. After his interaction with the company was more of a testing phase, they're now in full production. He's watching the ad. His wife, he's the woman he's been living with for 3 years, comes in to let him know that he's pregnant. He's pregnant. To let him know that she's pregnant. Black. Written and directed by Jeffrey Myers.
Black.
That's great. That's good stuff.
Hmm.
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 Hmm. Wow.
Do you have our closing bit prepared for us?
I do, and I forgot and have been working on it throughout this show.
Okay.
But let's see. You try this one on for size.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Oh. Okay. I want you to connect for me David Duchovny
Okay.
with Angelina Jolie.
David Duchovny to Angelina Jolie. David Duchovny is in California with a K with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Done. Angelina Jolie.
Okay, well, I haven't seen California with a K.
Dude, California with a K? Wild.
I bet. Can I share with you my route, which was a lot more fun?
Yeah, yeah, can't go for it.
Especially after my horrible performance last episode, that stung a bit.
Did you go Zoolander?
I did go Zoolander,
All right, cool.
so that gets it. I mean, it's predicated on the deep cut that David Duchovny is a hand model in Zoolander. But there's also a deep cut. There's second deep Zoolander cut. Billy Zane in Zoolander as Billy Zane. Billy Zane, Titanic. Leo, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Man, that's a journey.
That is a journey.
That's a 30-year journey.
Yeah. That. Mm-hmm. So. Maybe it's stumped any of you. Perhaps.
Well, I mean, I would say that my movie was a deep cut.
That's a pretty deep cut. What year is that from? What year? California with a K. I'm assuming it's literally just California spelled with a K. The title. Of
Yes,
the film
sorry,
okay.
it's California spelled with a K.
'Cause that's not a bad title, to be honest with you. If they put California with a K,
California with a K.
it's not a bad title.
That's a great question. When was California with a K from?
Ask Siri.
California, 1993.
Ooh. The year that brought us Jurassic Park.
Do you want the
Moment of
you want the
silence.
log line?
Yeah.
Fear never travels alone. A journalist duo go on a tour of serial killer murder sites.
A journalist duo of David Duchovny and Brad Pitt.
No.
Oh, okay.
The journalist duo is David Duchovny and his girlfriend, I believe, Michelle Forbes. A journalist duo go on a tour of serial killer murder sites with two companions, unaware that one of them is a serial killer himself. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. All right, dude. That sounds great. Now the K makes sense. Is the K? I'm picturing like California and like Helvetica, and then the Oh, thank you. No, the whole thing is in. Okay. I
Yeah,
was picturing the K to
whole
look
thing
like
is-
that and red, and then the rest of California
Nope.
in like
It's not
typewriter.
the best.
Okay.
If you're, I wouldn't go out of your way to seek it out.
Dude, why not just go the whole 9 and call it California? You're dancing on the line. Just go. Just jump.
Just do it already.
Just freaking do it. Oh, I was gonna say something. California with a K. Oh, 1993. Jurassic Park. Jurassic World Dominion. Now, there's not much.
Not much floating out about that.
No, and I like it. Except,
Yep.
Have you been watching the Olympics?
No.
Okay. This was possibly the most epic TV spot on the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they have obviously the Olympics on NBC Peacock. If you guys want to pay us for that plug, that's cool. A bunch of their ads are basically just, hey, watch the Olympics. Or the Olympics sponsored by Visa. Which, like, Visa, why do you have to advertise, dude? Nobody even uses you on purpose. Anyway, so there's Chloe Kim. Is that the snowboarder? Chloe.
I have
I can't remember her last name.
not plugged into the Olympics
That's okay.
whatsoever. The only thing that
Shaun
I know is that it's Shaun White's last year.
Okay, yeah. So Shaun White's in this commercial as well. It's various athletes, and I think Nathan Chen, who is this phenomenal figure skater.
Dude, you're in it.
We watch it a lot. Well, I'm pissed because freaking Nathan Chen last night there was a short program for men's figure skating, and they're talking up Nathan Chen, and we're watching all these people go, and this the skater from China got a 90-something score, which is like crazy good. Nobody else is really even coming close. And we're like, okay, when does Nathan Chen go? And we saw that he's like 6 groups behind. So like he wouldn't go on till like 1 or 2 a.m. here. So we're like, great. So we went to bed. Wake up. Nathan Chen casually broke the freaking record all time for points in that program.
Boom.
Boom. Nathan Chen. Anyway, so it's those 3.
Why can't they all just be in American time?
Yeah. What is this nonsense? It's where the most people are. Chloe Kim. I just got an ESPN update about Chloe Kim.
Oh wow.
She I think she just won gold. Yeah, she just won gold. Snowboarding halfpipe. Wow, that was great timing. That was amazing timing. That was awesome. That literally just happened. Anyway, so they're skating down. So Chloe Kim and Shaun White are like snowboarding down a mountain, and Nathan Chen is like skating. And you're like, okay, this is just another Olympic ad. When a brachiosaurus comes out of the freaking woods on the mountain, and then freaking the blue is chasing Chloe Kim down the mountain, man, so it was actually just a TV spot for Jurassic World Dominion, but it was awesome. I got chills. I was just sitting there when I see the neck pop above the trees. Oh, in the classic.
Oh my god.
Grown.
Man, you gotta love the Comcast synergies there.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, man. Unbridled enthusiasm for Jurassic World Dominion, let me tell you.
Do we got a release date on that?
June. It's
wow, I would
June.
have expected more trailers.
I know. I don't want to watch any. I'm trying not to watch any. There's been a couple. But it's like they're all teasers. They're all little things here and there.
Yeah, it's like
the freaking like most iconic score of all time. Oh god, June 10th. I want it.
All right. Should we close this out?
I think we should close this out. So, thank you all so much for joining this. If you're tuning in here at home or overseas, we appreciate your time. Or if you saw this on my resume and decided to give it a look-see, thank you for coming. I didn't actually name the title, so nobody can actually do that. But all they know is I'm producing a podcast. Anyway, Today I've been Ryan.
I have been Jeff.
And we'll catch you next time on Not Coming Soon, which, consequently, the next episode will not be coming soon. Peace out.